Hi there. My name is Marcella Friel, and I am a mindful eating mentor who helps health-conscious people like you love and forgive yourself, your food, and your figure. In this video, I'm going to teach you the tapping technique. Tapping is the main tool that I use with my clients in my practice, and it is sometimes called emotional acupuncture. And basically what we do is we fingertip tap at or near the ends of certain acupuncture meridians while we are recollecting a stressful situation. And in this case, we might recollect something stressful related to food or our obsession about our negative body image or what have you. And while we tap, while thinking about those problems, the tapping sends an electromagnetic pulse back into the limbic system of the brain, where the stress associated with those thoughts and feelings is stored. And the tapping acts as a circuit breaker that disrupts the electromagnetic signal of the distress. So tapping can really work wonders in terms of binge eating, sugar addiction, emotional eating, and actually there's a saying in the tapping world, try it on everything, because really just about any problem you have can be addressed with tapping. So in this video, I want to just show you what we call the basic recipe so that you can get started using this tool right away. So to begin, focus on the distress that you want to resolve. So let's say you're eating chocolate chip cookies late at night and you feel ashamed about that. Okay, so with tapping, we're working primarily with the emotions. That's why it's called emotional freedom techniques. So tune into that shame. And then on a scale of 1 to 10, see how strong that shame is, with 10 being the highest number. So if your shame is at a 10, it's really intense. And if the shame is at a 0, then it's like, well, why are we even talking about this? So begin, first of all, by tuning in to the emotion that you're feeling associated with whatever behavior you want to work on, and gauging how strong it is. So once you have that dialed in, then we begin by tapping on what we call the karate chop point of either hand. It doesn't matter. Either hand is fine. And you can just begin tapping with the fingers of one hand on the karate chop point of the other hand. And while you're tapping on the karate chop point, you can say what we call the setup statement, which goes something like this. Even though I have this pattern of binging on chocolate chip cookies late at night, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So you can say the setup statement aloud 1 to 3 times while tapping on the karate chop point. And what the setup statement does is you state to yourself the problem. You can state how you feel about it. So I binge on chocolate chip cookies and I feel ashamed. And then you want to counter that with a statement of self-love and self-acceptance. Because in the view of tapping, self-love and self-acceptance are the antidote to every problem that we face. So even though I have this habit, I binge on chocolate chip cookies at night, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Now, you can word that any way you want. Like, even though I have this habit of binging on chocolate chip cookies at night, and it makes me feel ashamed and I don't like it, I accept myself exactly where I'm at. Or I acknowledge that this is where I'm at. Or I give myself a lot of compassion right now. You know, sometimes it can be hard to say, I deeply love and accept myself. The first time I had to say it, I actually got physically nauseated. I almost threw up. So it can be pretty intense. So if it's hard to say that, it's good to say it, even if it is hard. But if it just feels like too much, then you can just dial it down until you can work your way up to, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So we begin with the setup statement. We say that aloud 1 to 3 times while we're tapping on the karate chop point. And then we tap on the points in the tapping sequence. And those points are right in the center of the top of the head, Then right on the eyebrow, right basically where the eyebrow meets the bridge of the nose. So that's one place. And you can see I'm tapping with 2 fingers. That's fine. Then you want to tap on the side of the eye, and you want to just tap on this little bone right in front of your temple. Then under the eye, under the nose, under the mouth, right in that indentation, right at your chin. And then you can tap on the collarbone point, which if you feel into the notch, in your collarbone, and just move out about, well, actually that's on my microphone, so just move out about an inch or so, right there on the collarbone point. And then you can tap what we call the bra strap point. For women, it's about where the bra strap occurs. And what I do there is I just slap with all 4 fingers of my hand. If it feels difficult to reach around like this, you can also just tap it kind of like that. So those are the points. So while you're tapping, for the first couple of rounds, you want to say to yourself a reminder phrase to just keep your focus on what it is that you're tapping on. And you can start with the emotion that you're feeling. So let's just start here. All this shame that I feel. I feel so much shame. I really feel ashamed. So you're focusing on the shame, but you can word it different ways. It's fine. Just to keep your focus, just as long as you have that reminder phrase. All the shame I feel. I feel so ashamed. So you do that a couple of times, and then you can bring in, I have this habit of binging. I have this habit of binging on chocolate chip cookies. And I do it late at night. And I feel really ashamed about it. Okay, and then you can explore different aspects of this problem. I don't like that I do it, but I don't quite know how to stop. I really would like to stop, but I don't know how to stop. And even though I have this problem, I love myself exactly where I am as best as I can in this moment. So that's a round of tapping. Let's take a nice deep breath. After you've taken a nice deep breath, revisit the initial statement. So let's say the shame that you felt initially was like an 8 out of 10, right? It's pretty intense. You do a couple of rounds of tapping and then check in again on how intense that shame feels. Maybe it's gone down to like a 6 or a 5. It can also go up sometimes. It can do what we call a spike. And this can, you are kind of popping the lid on something that's been buried for a really long time, the tapping can actually bring that to the surface. So if things get a little bit more intense before they start to resolve, don't worry about it. You're actually on track, but just keep tapping. Just stay with it. Sometimes if the feelings or the emotions get really overwhelming and you start to cry, it's fine. You can just tap and cry. You don't even have to say anything. Tapping is a really remarkably flexible tool. Like you can use it in all kinds of ways and somehow it magically seems to work each way. So once again, let's just review. Begin by tuning in to whatever it is that you want to work on. So it could be late night binging on chips or cookies or whatever. It could be my sugar addiction is really bad and I'm scared that I won't be able to resolve it. It could be I know that I'm eating when I'm stressed out. It could be, I'm ashamed to eat in front of other people. I mean, whatever your issue is, see if you can get really specific about what it is, because tapping works best when we're specific. Find the emotions connected to that, how it makes you feel. And then tune in on a scale of 1 to 10, how intense are those emotions, with 10 being the most intense and 1 being the least intense, or 0 being, if it's a 0, you don't even want to tap on it at all. Like, why would you tap on it? So once you have all that, begin with your setup statement, even though, and then you state the problem. I deeply love and accept myself. And you can say that aloud 1 to 3 times. And then just go ahead with your reminder phrase, this problem, I have this problem, I struggle with this problem. I really have this problem and it makes me feel this way. So, you're filling in your problems and how it makes you feel. You just keep tapping around the points, do it 2 or 3 rounds, um, see what happens. And then when you feel complete, take a nice deep breath and revisit that initial statement and see how intense it feels now. So I think that's all I've got to say for the moment. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My website is Marcella Friel, MarcellaFriel.com. I'm really happy to answer your questions. So good luck, happy tapping. Let me know how it goes. I'm here for you. Alrighty, bye for now.